2-3 attributes of the prophecy, of the prophethood, so that we can understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the prophet towards the nations for their guidance, and what are their specific characters, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose some specific persons for the guidance of the ummah. So today we will discuss inshallah that prophethood cannot be earned. It is the blessings of Allah upon a specific person to attain or to gain the prophecy or the prophethood. So prophethood can never be attained by plenty of worship, by doing a lot of charities, by doing a lot of Hajj, Zakat. No one can attain the grade of prophecy. So it is the grace of Allah Almighty whom Allah wills. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned here, Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalata. Allah knows well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where to place his message. Because the kuffar of Makkah, they were used to say, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose a person like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the prophethood, because he was an orphan boy at that time. Because Hazrat Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu died before the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, 6 months before the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they ask a question, وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't give prophecy to the persons amongst the whole Arab, Qaryatain, 2 villages, 2 valleys, Arab, Makkatul Mukarrama, and at that time Taif, valley of Taif. These were 2 big valleys. The full Arab consists of these 2 cities mostly, the Taif and Makkatul Mukarrama. So they were saying, وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِّنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't choose a person amongst the rich families, the families who are rich by their wealth. So because everyone knows, the kuffar and the disbelievers, they have a sense that a person who has a lot of wealth, who has a lot of business, that person is a respectable person. The person who has a lot of business, who has employees, who has gardens, cars, Mercedes, and a lot of items, worldly items, they consider that person is a respectable person. But according to Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Indeed, the person is respectful, is respectable, honorable person in the eye of Allah, the one who has taqwa. The specific. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replying them, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a prophet. So no one can attain by their plenty of worship, by doing good deeds, they can never attain the rank or grade of prophethood. So this is anyone who has belief on this thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or a person can attain or obtain a grade or rank of prophecy with his worship, that person is out of Islam. Why? Because it's a basic aqidah of the Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying himself, Inna Allah hastafa Adama wa Nuha wa ala Ibrahima wa ala Imrana ala al-alamin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose his prophets. And dhalika fadlullahi yu'tihi man yasha. This is the grace of Allah Almighty. This is the bounty of Allah Almighty, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him. So basically the concept is, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing is the specific attribute for a prophet that is very obligatory. The prophet should be avoided sins. they will never ever commit sins. He is, or they are immune to sins, or they are immune to the diseases which are the causes for the hatred of other persons. For example, those persons who can see seeing on Rasul or any prophet, and he is becoming away, he is making himself away from the prophet. That disease never ever come to the prophets. So they are without sins. They cannot commit any sins before the declaration of their prophethood or after the declaration of their prophethood. So they are immune to sins. They are sinless persons because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose them, and their characters are very good character. The misali, the exemplary character amongst the nations. That person which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose as prophet. So that person has a beautiful character. For Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. The character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the great character amongst the nations. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose that person for his prophecy or for prophethood, that is have very good character, attributes are beautiful characters. They never commit anything wrong by their words, by their deeds, and no one can imagine them they can do anything wrong. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because before the declaration of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a prophet, everyone knows Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a Sadiq and Amin. That's a specific character because they are truthful, they are trustworthy, because prophet is the person. If he is not a truthful person, if some person is lying in his life once, so anyone can have a doubt on that person that he is not telling us truth. He can tell a lie. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or any prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are ever truthful persons. They are ever trustworthy persons. They never commit or they never tell a single lie. They never ever any doing miswrongs or misdeeds or wrongdoings in his life. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gonna to put his message in that person. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us ease to understand the teachings of Islam, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen wa ma alayhi illa al-balagh al-mubin. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina ومولانا محمد وآله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم وصلي عليه. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وإليك يرجع السلام. حينا ربنا بالسلام وادخلنا الجنة دار السلام. تباركت ربنا وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. يا إله العالمين, those brothers who are sitting for this bayan, Ya Allah, give them great reward, Ya Allah. Ya Ilahul Alameen, remove their worries of this life, Ya Allah, and remove their worries of the afterworld, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, please remove our big and large and small sins from this dunya, Ya Allah, and please protect us from every sin of life, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, when we are going from this world to the qabr and akhirah, Ya Allah, please continue Kalma Tayyib La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah on our tongues, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, make our nations, make our, Ya Allah, youth, Ya Allah, neek. Ya Allah, make our youth pious, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, give them good knowledge of Islam, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, protect our all community, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, those who are doing wrong, who are, Ya Ilahul Alameen, who are spreading wrongs in our community, please give them hidayah, Ya Allah. Please give them straightforward way, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, उन सब को जो हमारी कम्युनिटी को गंदा कर रहे हैं, जो मुसलमानों के इमेज को ख़राब कर रहे हैं, या अल्लाह उन सब को हिदायत अता फरमा। या इलाहुल आलमीन, हम मुसलमानों को भी अपनी इस्लाह करने की हर वक्त तौफीक अता फरमा। या इलाहुल आलमीन, हमें अपने आमाल पर भी अपने किरदार पर भी, अपने अखलाक पर भी मेहनत करने की तौफीक अता फरमा। या अल्लाह नमाज़ों के साथ साथ हमारी ज़ुबान में ताजगी आ जाए, हमारे दिलों में मोहब्बत आ जाए, हमारे जहनों से एक दूसरे की नफ़रत निकल जाए। या अल्लाह या इलाहुल आलमीन, हम सब को एक जा होने की तौफीक अता फरमा, घरों में खैर बरकत अता फरमा, हर किस्म की परेशानी बीमारी से या अल्लाह महफूज फरमा। जितने भी दोस्त अहबाब बीमार हैं या अल्लाह सबको शिफाए कामिला अता फरमा। जो मुसलमान फौत हो गए हैं या अल्लाह सबकी बख्शिश फरमा। सल्लल्लाहु अला हबीबिही सय्यिदना व मौलाना मुहम्मद व आलिहि व अस्हाबिही अजमाइन बिरहमतिका या